Hello beautiful, welcome back to my channel. My name is Bettina and I'm the makeup enthusiast. In this video I'm gonna give you my update on my Pan Those eyeshadows. This is my September update. I do have another roll out, which is very exciting. I've hit pan on another shadow, so if you want to know what that shadow is, then let's jump on into the update. I think I've done fairly well this month, and there are like a few uses on some products that I don't normally get uses on, so let's go on through them. Let's go through the motions and see how we're going. So let's start off with the troublemaker of the project. This is my certified Dynasty palette and I'm currently working on the color Glisten. I am wearing Glisten on like my lid today. I really like this shadow and it pairs really well with like blues, greens, not blues, purples, pinks, greens, like it looks really nice when I do wear it. However, it's not the easiest color to wear regularly. I've only used this one an additional one time this month. However, we are starting to see a dip on the shadow. Oh, you can see it there. Look at that. We are starting to see a dip on the shadow, which I think is really, really cool. And you know what? I think that maybe once I get up to like the 5 more uses, so up around 10 uses, I think that we're probably going to be getting very close to hitting pan. Between that 10 and 15 uses, that's when I want to say that I will be getting close to hitting pan, because just from 5 uses, I've got a decent dip going. So I will keep you posted. Let's hope that we can continue to make some decent progress. We're getting very close to the end of the year and I was really hoping that I would hit pan on this one by the end of the year. So I would have to at least up the usage by 2 to 3 times a month for that to happen. Next is my Inglot shadow in 290. Last month was sitting on 10 uses. I've used this an additional 4 times and I'm definitely starting to see a little bit of a dip. This shadow I know in particular is one that I've always found a little bit difficult to show in the updates, the dips. So hopefully in this photo, you'll be able to see the dip I have going. Oh, you can see it. You can see it. Look at that. So there's definitely a dip going. This is an extremely tightly packed shadow. What are you doing focusing on up there? This is an extremely tightly packed shadow. So I really have to kind of almost jam my brush in there when I do use it. Again, I think that I will be getting to like double the amount of uses. So up around like the 20 to 25 uses before we do start getting close to hitting pan. My Juvia's Place shadow in Tazar. This is from my Saharan 2 palette. That is this shadow in the corner here, and I'm working right about here. And I am up to 14 uses on this one. Last month I was at 7, so I have doubled the amount of uses on this one. The dip I have going it's quite small, but you can tell that there's a dip. I again think that it will be up around the probably 20 to 25 uses before I start getting close to, you know, the bottom of the pan. Tazar is one that I am wearing fairly regularly to work. I do find that it's a little bit on the orange side. My Makeup Geek shadow in Chickadee. This is like a mustardy color. I really like this shadow. I am currently sitting at 9 uses on this one. Last month I only had 2 uses on this one. And we are definitely starting to see where on the pan there's a little bit of a dip going. I don't think it will be until like next update until we start seeing like a fairly decent dip on it. I used a bit of a bigger, fluffy blending brush when I do use this one, and I whack it in my crease. So that's why we're not seeing like more of a focused dip on it. The other ones that I've showed you so far, I use a smaller brush on it, so I have more of a like precise application, and it's just a little bit more difficult to start to see a dip when you use a bigger brush because it's picking up more surface area. Next we have Makeup Geek Starry Eyed. I think I rolled this one in last month. I've only used this one twice, but I am continuing to like focus on the center of the pan there where I already had a bit of a dip. The Makeup Geek shadows normally take me, especially the shimmers, they take me up around the almost 30 uses before I hit pan on them. So I definitely have a long ways to go with this. However, this one does pair nicely with the Makeup Geek Chickadee as well as the Tazar from this palette. So, you know, it pairs nicely with everything and it makes the look, it makes my eyeshadow on those days look really nicely. When I wear it, I enjoy it. I do enjoy it. And it also goes nicely with the purples and the pinks that I have in the rotation. Next we have my Kaleidos Plasma eyeshadow from the Cyber Bronze palette. So the Plasma is the silver color here. Again, you know, I'm finding it hard to use this, but I do feel like we are starting to see a bit of a dip going. I have like laid this with a few different things. I've used it as inner corners, so I am getting some use out of it, but not as much as I would like to. I'm sitting at 8. Last month I was at 7 at 7 uses, so I've only used this one another one time, which is very disappointing. Hopefully I can hit pan on it by the end of the year, if not maybe early next year. I don't know. I feel like I will want to start the year like completely fresh with a whole brand new slate of shadows, but I do feel like if I quit it before I hit pan, I will be disappointed in myself. Maybe it might be something I'll rotate into another project, or if I do get to roulette this palette again, I'll just go straight to working on that shadow. I'm not quite sure. I haven't really decided how I'm going to finish this project just yet. The next one is my Glaminatrix Cosmetics Sandra Rose palette. In this one, I'm working on the color Petal. I've used this one an additional 4 times this month, and you're definitely going to be able to see in the close-ups. I do feel like I'm starting to clean up the pan a little bit. I'm getting a little bit more use out of it. This palette still looks like a hot mess, but I am definitely getting there with giving it a bit of a clean up. So with all like the broken bits, I'm slowly working through them, and I'm slowly working through the broken bits that I've like crushed up a lot finer. I'll get there eventually. I'll get there eventually. My goal on this palette is to just, I guess, clean it up a bit more when it comes to like getting use out of those shadows that have broken in this one. And last but not least is the shadow that I've hit pan on. If you have been playing at home, you can probably guess which one it is. And it is my Makeup Geek shadow. It is the shadow in Grandstand. I hit pan on this one after 28 uses. So did I say? Yes, I said around 30 uses. So I hit pan on this one after 28 uses, and it is a very decent sized pan in my opinion. I think that's a really good, you know, size pan. I was using this like as a lid color for work most days, and you know, managed to get there after a while. So the past month I used it an additional 3 times before I hit pan, which I'm a little bit shocked, but it only took me another 3 times. I must have been so close at the last update to hitting pan. It wasn't funny, and yeah, it only took me another 3 uses after that update to hit pan on it. Now, I ordinarily, like, my Makeup Geek shadows are ones that I pick out myself out of my collection. However, I think because I'm currently in October and there's only 2 more updates left. Yeah, there's October update, November update, and then there'll be my finale. So there's 3 more updates left. I think that I'm going to roulette one last shadow, and then that will be it for the rest of the year. And then for the rest of the year, I'm just going to purely focus on what I've got. Once I hit pan, like I'll just drop the amount of shadows that I have in the project. So I think just for funsies, because I really like roulette. I really like rouletting the shadows. So for funsies, rather than me going and picking out which shadow I'm going to work on, I'm going to roulette it. That's going to be the last addition for the year. Let me pull up my spreadsheet and I will pull up my Pretty Random app. So I have 132 options on the spreadsheet, and I'm going to randomize one palette, and then from that palette we'll randomize one shadow. So let's see what we get. We have number 66. Number 66 is my Urban Decay Naked 3 palette. I don't remember the last time I touched that palette, so it'll be good to get some use out of it. And I think it's right behind me here. Is it? I think it's this one. 3? Yep. So this is the Urban Decay Naked 3. There are, I believe, is it 12 or 14 in here? 2, 6, 8, 10. So there's 12 shadows in here. I'm going to randomize which shadow to work on. And we're going to work on number 4. Actually, I think this one will be really easy to work on. So number 4 is the color Limit. So that's this one here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's the color Limit, and I think this will be like a really easy, you know, crease color, anything like that. So that's my update. Make sure you let me know how you are going on any of your eyeshadows that you're currently trying to pan. While you are down below, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. You can also subscribe to my channel if you want to keep up to date on this project and all my other project panning endeavors that I am embarking on this year. And if you're interested, you can also join my membership down below for extra perks. That's it for this video, everyone. I hope that you're having an absolutely fantastic day. I hope that you are staying safe and healthy and looking after yourself, and I will see you on the next one. Goodbye, beautiful.